All right, we are officially live. What's up, Nick?
Just living the life, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Just getting the morning rolling. Got a little caffeine in me, ready to rock today.
Trust me, I can't live
Come
without
on,
caffeine.
a little Celsius action. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, you need
Come
it,
on.
man. 200 hits perfect in the morning.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, dude, thank you so much for joining us on the LinkedIn Live today. We're streaming on LinkedIn. We're jamming on YouTube as well. If you guys have questions as we kind of run through material today, feel free to drop them in the chat. Nick and I are more than happy to answer any questions that you have. But our title today is the white label service that could potentially add an additional 25K in monthly recurring revenue to any agency. And that's why I brought Nick on today, because I met Nick back, what, probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, somewhere
Two
in
years.
that range, 2 years.
Yeah,
And I was just so intrigued by this service that you guys had, because I've been working in the agency space for such a long time, and there's always been uh, always a little bit of like disconnect from like my community with SEO services and the potential behind them. And it always kind of felt like, yeah, like maybe we'll do that, but like we don't really have the team for it, and we don't necessarily know too much about it. Like we've always come from like the hard paid media route, Meta ads, Google ads,
yeah,
creative behind those types of ads, and nowadays it seems like it's easier and easier to add on SEO with white label services like you guys are running. So without further ado, Nick, I'm going to kind of give you the floor. Like, what makes this even possible in the first place? And I think you're working with a few of our clients now on some SEO white labeled services, and yeah, just excited to hear more about the potential and like why it's such a no brainer to potentially have this service if you run an agency.
for sure. I think one of the hardest things going out there is trust. Who are you going to trust? Who are you going to be able to say, hey, you know what? I can trust this individual or this company with my clients.
Mm,
And it is something that you need to make sure that you do your due diligence when you're going out and trying to find the best opportunity for you and your customers. The good news is there's plenty of options out there. I believe that if you are, it's kind of like podcasting, right? One podcast is good, but if you have 50 good podcasts, everybody gets better. And that's what's happening inside of the SEO world today, especially with all the changes that are happening with AI overview and all of the large language models. You need to make sure that you're prepared for it and you have the correct team behind you while you're figuring this out.
hmm
On Boostability side, we've been doing this since 2009. It's not our first rodeo. We've had to go with and go through all of the different algorithm updates, whether or not it's Penguin or Panda or all the stuff that they've done to make stuff or the search is hyper local. You need to make sure you understand that. But the ability to make it great for the small business is the most important thing that we've got here at Boostability. Our motto is, we help small businesses succeed online. How are we doing that? We're making their website relevant to them. We're helping them get valuable links pointing back to their website to get them to rank. But on the white label side, you also have to be able to manage that relationship with the end marketing company that's trying to get that customer ranking.
mm.
Kind of provide a variety of services like auditing tools, pricing tools. We utilize a company out of the UK that we love, their insights. We utilize their tool to help us sell. We have a sales support team, but you need to make sure that you're there to support them. So I don't know how in
Yeah.
depth you want me to go, Josh, but I friggin' love it.
Yeah, we got the hour, man, so we can get into the trenches if needed here. I'm curious on that side, because like, okay, here's my biggest beef that I have with like white labeled services. It's always come down to like the support factor, where it feels like you're still the person, really in like the accounts, and like you're having to check in on the team, and like if results dip, like there's like the comms tend to like fall away. Like I'm curious on your guys' side, like what have you guys done to like make these partnerships? Because I know you guys, like a majority of your business is white label partnerships, and so like how have you guys kind of like crafted your offer around, like, one, giving the appropriate support, but two, making sure results don't fall through the cracks, and you guys are responsible for the results, not necessarily just the agency.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was like 2012 we started with our first huge white label where it got to the point where it's like, okay, we've got thousands of accounts. We need to make sure that we have the best opportunity. I started on the we call it the partner management team at the time, in 2015. And we realized that we're not just going to become a vendor, right? We're not just going to be that, okay, we're going to send work over to you, you do exactly what we do. We are going to be the authority when it comes to the performance, along with we're going to make sure that our partners feel comfortable with the products that we've got. So we created a variety of different tools to help along those conversations. So pre-sale, we have sales support. You can call and introduce my sales staff as your own so that we're setting the right expectations from the get-go. That's one form of communication, right? Next form, after that account is sold, we will have our account management or our client services team that can assist you, the agency, or we could also set up a branded phone number and email address and reach out directly to your customer on your behalf. That's 2. And then 3, we have our partner management. We call them our partner growth managers today. They're incentivized by growth. They're there to train you and your agency on how to sell SEO, how to speak to all the services that we provide. If anything were to go awry, guess what? They're there to make sure that you're taken care of. If we need extra support, if we need extra manpower, whatever is needed to get that customer on the first page, more visible and happy is what we'll do. So we realized that we didn't want to just be this fulfillment company similar to what you can get out in India. There's some great services that are out of India. But if you, Josh, have never really sold SEO before and you're starting to sell these accounts, and if for some reason the website, something happens with it, you need to speak with somebody, you've got 3 different touch points within minutes, all based out of here in Utah that will be able to take care of you.
Okay. Got it. And I guess like, when it comes to, kind of like this, like it feels like more like a white glove type approach. Whereas in, typically it feels like more of like, hey, we're just passing this off and then we're kind of done. How do you guys like, merge into other teams when it comes to like the paid media aspect, right? It's like, being able to like share data with one another, making sure, reporting gets out, things like that. Cause, I think most people, they want to run these, kind of like omni-channel type approach to marketing where it's like, yeah, like we do a little bit of everything. And it's like, we can really be able to get the data that we need pulled down in order to inform, what's working well across, the board, right? Like whether that's paid, whether that's SEO, whether that's, organic. Like, how do you guys kind of like streamline some of the like reporting when it comes to like working alongside an agency?
So there's 2 points I want to hit with that. Number 1, it all comes down to that partner growth manager. So when I sign up a partner, the first thing that we do is we're going to do a partner management onboarding call with your partner growth manager. They're going to give you access to all of the tools that you've got. They're also, as a partner growth manager, I want to understand every aspect of your business. What are the other services that you provide to make sure that, hey, if we're working on a website that you built and we're trying to help you sell, we are not going to destroy that website when we're doing our auditing process. On top of that, we want to understand, if you're doing PPC, we need to understand what are the terms that you're searching for and how do we make it so that when you put an account inside of our system, we know about the other services that you're providing, what other keywords you might be really excited about or you perform the best on or they're the highest ROI. We need to understand that info, and we'll teach you how to put that inside of the account when you put the account as sold inside of our system. On top of that, we will also train your sales team, or if that's just you, that's perfectly fine. We'll train you on how to sell our services in conjunction with the other ones that you provide. We will also give you access to a bunch of white papers, single pagers, sales collateral to make sure that you're prepared to answer any questions, concerns that people might have, or just how do you sell the both of these, right? How do you where PPC is just as valuable as SEO? There's a bunch of fish in a stream. If 86% of them are here in the organic side, we still need to make sure that we hit that 16% here. And how do we make sure that we're selecting the correct budget for the customer? We'll get all of that, and the partner growth manager will make sure that you're there.
Yeah. And, a lot of this also comes down to like, the dollars to make it make sense, right? Like I think some of the hesitancy that people sometimes get is like, is the juice really worth the squeeze at the end of the day, right? And this is hopefully the thing that we can overcome on part of this live stream today is like 100%. It is worth the squeeze. How does your partner model typically lay out when it comes to like revenue for the agency?
Of course.
Like how have you guys kind of like made this to where it's like, yeah, like hey, this is attractive, and if we had a book of business of like say 20 clients, what could you expect as far as like net new revenue coming in from uh from SEO?
Yeah, of course. So our model is based on the partner that we're partnering with should have a 50-50 rev share with us,
Hmm.
right? So anything that we are charging our partners, they should be able to multiply it times two. The average order value that we've got with a customer is between, depending on the agency and how mature they are, usually the younger agencies kind of shoot a little bit low. But that's part of the reason why we created the sales support model, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But our average order value is between 1,000 to 2,000 a month, right? So if you have 20 clients with us, you're looking at roughly 500 to 750 each,
Hmm.
right? And then you should be able to multiply whatever we charge times two, and that's how much you're charging your end customer. So you could easily have 15 to 20,000 recurring revenue with us by having 20 accounts. Now, the part that I love the most about this is it becomes a math problem on our side. We're a bunch of SEO nerds. We've been
Hmm.
selling SEO now since 2009. My sales staff is freaking good. There's a
Hmm.
gentleman on my team. His name is Gus. He runs our sales support team. He has had it about like a 31 to a 35% close rate for a couple of years now. So if we're looking at math, if you want 20 accounts, you need 60 calls to that team.
Hmm.
That is it. My team, we know the math behind it, whether or not you're in the UK, whether or not you're in the US, we know specifically how many calls you need in order to get to that. So then it comes down to what's your prospecting process? How do you do that? And people like you would thrive because you've already learned how to do your email outreach or your cold calls or all those types of things to get somebody on the line. Let's get in touch with that sales support team. Let's talk. Let's introduce them as SEO experts, and then let's sell it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's like kind of a win-win scenario at the end of the day.
That's the way it should be. And when you said earlier the white glove, that's the experience that we want. We want these agencies to say, "All right, I don't know that, but guess what? I've got an SEO expert. We can go through your whole website. We can talk
Mm,
about what your competitors are doing. We can talk about exactly what you need to get on the first page."
okay, got it. So essentially, like you guys have the sales support system. Will they come on to like a call and be able to help out with some of that sales process, or like is there the potential to completely pass this off to you guys and be like, hey, we don't really even want to sell it. We just want to make the introduction for you guys. What do you see typically works best when people are, selling the service?
So we have multiple options there. The most important, if it is a white label partnership, it's a three-way call.
Hmm.
You've created some form of relationship with this individual, even if it's been 20 minutes or it's been 4 or 5 years. He's your best friend, right? Or he's the bully from high school, which
Sure.
is. But so in those cases, if you're introducing us as a member of your team, SEO experts on a three-legged call, it has to be a three-way call, no matter
Okay.
what. We do offer an affiliate program. If you're like, I don't want to touch SEO, I can
Hmm.
pass over these potential leads to Boostability. We would sell it under the Boostability name. We would give you a commission for the lifetime of that, up to 30%.
Hmm.
But in my opinion, it is a blanket. I mean, if you're able to pass that lead, that opportunity is interested in SEO, you might as well have it be white labeled and you get 50-50 rev share.
Yeah, 100%. And also, it's like, some of that transparency on the data. Once again, it's like, I think that's important stuff for agencies to know of overall, like the overall health of like the marketing strategy that they're implementing. Right. So I think it makes more sense to do like more of the white labeled approach. But, maybe that's incorrect.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It is in today's world, everything should become more accessible.
Hmm.
Everything that we had, I mean, I'm 38. Josh, how old are you?
33.
You're 33, so you're a little
Hmm.
baby, right? But
Uh-huh.
growing up for me, I got my first phone at like 16, 17. It was a little cricket phone and it had a little flashlight, and I thought that was so cool. Everybody has a flashlight now. It's not that big of a deal. But now to today, I've got this smartphone that I can ask it any question and it can come up with a result on it. Everything's becoming more accessible. On our side, on Boostability side, we want to make that accessibility as easy as possible for these partnerships. We want them to have an auditing tool. That's why we've partnered with a company called Insights. We love them. We help train them on that tool so that they understand how to utilize it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not only that, we'll then go into any call that they need to help them sell. Then after that, we're going to make it accessible for them to be able to put accounts inside of our system via API. We'll have a reporting dashboard that they can pull all of that information if they want to have it go via API. But everything should be accessible. You should know what you're paying for. You should understand what you're getting out of it, and you should know what the performance is.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I think that's like one of the biggest things is, whenever you look at like white labeled services, and it's like you guys have been around, you said since 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys have an operating system that works extremely well at this point, and having a lot of that like validity does, I think, bring a lot of comfort to people when it comes to one. We're going to get transparent data. We're going to have a team that kind of backs us on this. So it's kind of like hey, you kind of have an internal SEO team at your disposal as needed,
Yeah.
which makes this way easier to implement versus you're having to do a lot of the setup yourself, or like you have to understand it fully. It sounds like you guys kind of have support staff wherever needed, whether it's on the sales side, whether that's on, sifting through the data, the actual fulfillment process. It sounds like, hey, it's a truly white glove, whereas like most people use white glove and it just never means that.
Yeah. I just realized for us, we've had some key partnerships that we really love and we will cherish and we will protect.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, we need to make sure that that person, when they come, they realize, hey, this guy's holding the door. I didn't have to ask this waiter once for water,
Mm-hmm.
right? The second I dropped that silverware, I had a new spoon right away.
That's right. That's right.
You should
Yeah.
have that feeling with anything, right? And in today's world, good service is kind of going by the wayside, and they just expect things happen. But the second that you get bad service, uh, it ruins your experience,
Yeah.
right? And that's what we care about.
Yeah, absolutely, man. One of the questions I had was like around who this works like best for. I know. I think when we were chatting at our or when I was chatting with some of your team at the event, Aaron was mentioning like, hey, uh, ecom is a little bit tough for
Yeah.
sure. But like where we really shine is like, some of like the local lead gen services that are like running paid ads. Like who does this partner best with?
So companies that majority of their client base are service-based industries, if they have a brick and mortar store, so dentists, plumbers, landscapers, somebody who is trying to find or be found for a service that they provide in
Hmm.
a service area, right? That is, I mean, we've worked with thousands of
Yeah.
dentists and attorneys. And when you partner with us, one of the benefits as well is you get access to case studies, right? So
Mm,
let's say if you're selling to a group of lawyers or defense attorneys, we can send you some case studies of what we've been able to do in the past. And that way you're speaking with knowledge. But it is absolutely, we help small businesses succeed online.
yeah.
And that is what we care about. And I think we're over 200,000 now that we've served and helped get on the
Wow.
first page.
So essentially, a partner of yours could utilize your own results
Yeah,
to sell the service. So it's
absolutely.
like, so if they don't have, obviously they probably won't have case studies. They won't
Mhm.
have testimonials.
Yeah,
Um, and that's something that you guys can provide.
yeah, 'cause we become your SEO team. So
Hmm.
when we say, hey, we've done this, your SEO team has specifically done that. Well, guess what? You're now part of this community of winners, right?
Yeah.
86% of our customers get on the first page within 6 months. So we're
Yeah.
going to give you some of that results and say, okay, when you're speaking to this specific industry, here's some opportunities that you've got. We give you access to a full library so that you can pick and choose. We have some companies that we've partnered with where they only focus on dentists or fencing, or I'm speaking with a really cool lady out of Florida who only focuses on pet shops or
Mm.
pet grooming. All right, we got case studies for that where we can help her sound knowledgeable, and really all she's doing is introducing our sales staff.
Yeah, well, I mean, the borrowed credibility side is so important because, without it, it's really hard to sell someone on a service like this. And it's like, everyone knows they should have case studies and testimonials. So it's a cool aspect that you guys are able to kind of utilize some of your credibility, pass that along to the partner, and be able to probably have a little bit easier sales call versus like, hey, this is our first time doing this type of
Yeah,
thing. And it doesn't feel like a trial. It feels like, hey, like we've been doing this for years, and they can use that credibility.
yeah. I mean, the opportunity to say, "Hey, let me introduce my SEO expert," and then we hop on. We can do screen share. We can go through what's going on with their website, compare their competitors. We can download that report and then send it out to them. They will have the same access that we've got to that program that we're utilizing Insights, and then from there, we'll be able to help them understand what they're looking at.
Mm,
Also, Josh, if this is your first time, you're like, "Ooh, I don't know how this call is going to go," reach out to our team beforehand. Hey, I want to understand how this call is going to go. What's the best way for me to introduce you?
yeah,
Uh, what should I say? What should I not say? What is it that really helps you during this pitch? And we'll be able to go through all of that.
yeah.
And we'll get a team of people that's ready to help you with that sales call.
Do you guys like help with like so like the sales asset side? So like as far as like, hey, if we're pitching someone on kind of like a little bit more of a robust strategy, we want to fit SEO into the mix of things.
Yeah.
Like, is that something that you guys could help with? Of like, hey, like we need to understand how to sell this better, and like we need to put this into like a demo deck or a pitch deck, and be able to like present this to a client.
So no, no. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we could do that. That is part of what that sales support process is,
Yeah.
right? Our goal with that team and the way we've run it is we want our product to stand alongside any other product that the customer is getting pitched, and we're knowledgeable and we fit inside of that budget.
Mm,
That
okay.
period. So that is an integral part of what we're doing, and our team is trained up on how to do that.
Yeah. What do some of your most like successful partners do that like maybe like people that have less success don't do?
The hardest thing, the people that have the least amount of success when it comes to working with us on the sales side specific are people like me. Why would I say that? Right? I've got to experience selling SEO, right?
Hmm.
Um, I believe that I understand it, but when I'm kind of a little bit of a control freak, and sometimes you got to let the reins go and understand where you're going to go.
Hmm.
So allowing our sales support team to identify the pain points, then address the pain points, making sure that it's sold in a certain way before we even pitch. We know exactly what and how we're going to pitch it. We're just laying down the road that we want the customer to go down
Yeah.
is perfect. The hardest thing is if you get an experienced salesman who thinks they understand exactly how they want it to go, and they just want you to sit there and pitch and just say it's going to be this much. That is when it's hard. So if you've
Yeah.
got somebody who's a little bit of has a lot of SEO or not SEO, a lot of sales experience, and they're not willing to introduce or allow the SEO expert to actually be an expert, because
Hmm.
imagine this. Gus, the gentleman who's on that team, he's worked for Boostability for 10 years, 40 hours a week, only selling Boostability's SEO product
Hmm.
as respectfully as possible. He is going to be better than any person
Yeah.
that's trying to pitch.
He has the
So,
reps.
exactly. So, as long as you give him the information before the call saying, this is, this is a pitch, these are the other products that we're selling, he'll be able to pitch it. But the hardest thing is when you've got somebody on the sales side who's trying too hard, not allowing you to be the SEO expert.
Hmm. What do you think, like, I'm sure there's some skepticism that you guys have to face on your side when like, talking with like agency partners or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, what are like some of those like higher skepticism points that you typically see when people are talking to you about partnering? And like, they don't necessarily pull the trigger because of like one or two like things that are like really easily overcome.
Yeah. The biggest issue that we run into is it's kind of like it's a fun analogy, but a bad ex,
Mm-hmm.
right? If we're working with an agency that's burned by another SEO agency,
Mm-hmm.
that is worse than anything else. Because of that poor experience, we then have to deal with the baggage
Sure.
of that agency, and we have to overcome not only those doubts before we even start, and then give them the white glove service. So
Yeah.
that's why we're so heavy on making sure that we provide the best white glove service from the beginning. The next thing is uh, somebody who's done their own research, right? But that research might have read an article from 2019 that's no longer relevant, and we
Mm,
then have to explain, well, the fact that we're tracking 4.4 million keywords, we understand what Google is doing and what the actual AI overview and these other large language models, what they're doing in comparison to the typical organic search that
yeah.
a lot of these small services are looking for. So it's really just explaining and making sure that customers understand that we've got the process, we understand it and what is needed, uh, and making sure that we understand or set the right expectations with that within it and partner.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. I love it, dude. And then I guess like what does it cost for like a client to get the service typically? I know it kind of ranges, but like what dictates some of those ranges?
So we'll go two ways to partner with us. To get access to all of these tools, it's just $300 a month.
Mm-hmm.
$200 a month, get access to all of the case studies, all the auditing tools. The platform fee is $300 a month. If you have one account with us, 1 billion accounts with us, it is $300 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the client level, the base package that we've got is $300 a month. Then we go $150 increments all the way up to 3,000, right? The package will be determined not by us,
Mm,
not by the agency. It's determined by two things: where the customer is located and
mm.
which industry they're in. If you're a musician in Nashville, it's gonna be freaking competitive.
Yeah.
You giggle, but there's so many things where like, oh, that makes sense,
Yeah.
right? But if you're an attorney in Manhattan, we're gonna need to kill it because there's a lot of competition around you.
100%.
We need enough man hours to get behind this customer and push them to the first page. Now, if you're an attorney in Salem, Utah, there might be one or two there, right?
Right.
So because of that, we might need the smallest package of 300. We created a pricing tool. You can put in the customer's location and their industry, and it'll tell you which package the customer should have. Uh, and our sales support team will be able to determine that when they're going through the discovery process with the end customer. But the average order value, you should probably get a package wholesale about like 600 to 900 a month. You
Okay.
multiply times two, that's 1,200 or $1,800 a month. The majority of your customers will reside there.
Okay. Got it. How do you guys kind of deal with some of like the saturation? Like if you do have like a saturated marketplace, how do you guys kind of deal with like breaking through and like putting that person? Obviously, like time does matter in SEO. I think everyone understands that. But how are you guys kind of like battling against like a little bit more saturated market if it's a location that does have higher saturation?
Uh, the way that we've defined SEO is the work that goes into your website to make it relevant and trusted so that it can appear on the first page.
Mm,
Relevance. Relevance has everything to do with your website, the organization of it, the copy within it, the text within it, the way that everything works. When Google and other companies now are going onto your website, they're going to look at certain areas:
hmm.
titles, descriptions, H1s, the service pages, the locations that are inside of that, and they're going to find you relevant for something. So we need to make it as easy as possible for these different crawling agencies to come into your website and understand what they're looking at. That's the most important thing. You cannot do anything until you have that organized. That's why in the first month, we're going onto the website and we're we're setting it up. So that's
Mhm.
one. Two, you need to have a variety of links and types of links pointed back to your customer's website from industry related websites. I can't scream that enough. It needs to be industry related. If you've got a lawyer and you've got a dog shampoo type website pointing back to it, there's no relevance there, and Google's going to say, okay, this link doesn't mean much. But if you have a variety of links like that pointing back to your website, Google doesn't know where to put you and where your location is in their SERP. So we're going to create industry related context or text. We'll create a relationship with a third party website and say, we created this amazing piece of copy that's relevant to your industry. The only thing we want is a link pointing back to this website.
Yeah.
We got a team of nerds who go out and identify the best opportunities that are there.
Uh-huh.
You have to be nerds, right? It's a good thing. It's part of
100%.
the
Yeah,
community.
yeah, yeah. It's the best part.
So, and then getting a link pointed back to your customer's website. Now, we've been doing this long enough. This week, I actually had a couple of people who say, "You know where I found you, Nick?" I'm like, "Uh-oh, what did I do?" Right? And they said, "I found you on ChatGPT."
Really?
And it's because we're creating industry relevant links, pointing back to an industry relevant website, and
Mm,
getting traffic. And the more valuable and variety of links that you can get, you will be found. The hardest thing though is in today's world, everybody's looking at SEO. What do I need to do for SEO? How is this going to work? Um, and sometimes, like a plumber in a smaller town or something like that, they don't deserve this bomb link that's got a DA 50 or something like that. It's like a
sure.
Lamborghini going to a trailer park. It does not make sense. Like, what are you going to get out of that? It's not going to help you. It's going to look so awkward that we need to make sure that it's relevant to location and industry with these
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, that's spot on. That was such a good answer. I love that.
It's fun, man.
Yeah. Well, if people want to reach out to Boostability, if they want to have a conversation with you guys, like what's the best form of communication?
Yeah, absolutely. You could go to Boostability and find our partner page and sign up. Just fill out that document that is there, and it
Mhm.
lands directly with myself or somebody on my team named Cam. We can make sure that you're taken care of. I also can send you a link really quickly.
Yeah, drop it. There's a chat that you can drop it in, and people can get access directly to that.
Perfect. So if somebody wants to work directly with me, is it just the private chat one?
Yeah, yeah. Just it should be in the right hand side. It just says chat, and then it'll send it out to everywhere that we're streaming right now.
Sounds good. Tell me if that one worked.
Here, I got it.
Awesome. And how's Nashville today?
It's good, man. We had a lot of rain. Is it raining today? No, it's sunny today. It's
It's
beautiful.
raining?
It was raining yesterday, but the Nashville's weird in that regard. It's always like uh uh it'll rain for like 2 hours and then it'll be sunny the rest of the day. It's kind of like
Really?
yeah, it's kind of like Florida a little bit. So we get intermittent storms. We just get some intense storms when they roll through. So
Yeah, I love Nashville. I think my first time was the first time that I met you, but the music scene is incredible.
it's awesome.
There's a little bit of cray, like
There's a lot of it. There's a
I
lot of
mean,
bit of craziness.
if you can, there's definitely some one hit wonders that have come out of there, and there's definitely some really good memes that have come out of the Nashville area, which
Oh yeah.
I love to see.
I mean that's where Hawk Tua became famous.
You said it, dude. I love it, dude. We've got meme coins and anything else that's coming out of Nashville.
Uh huh.
So, tell me
Amazing.
a little bit about your customers in regards to you work with several agencies,
Hmm.
um, and I would like to know what is why haven't you guys found an SEO company, and what is it that you're like, you know what, Nick, this is the trust that you need to build.
Hmm. Like what? Like personally, why haven't we found an SEO
I
company?
found one to recommend. Why did it
Yeah,
take you so long?
yeah. I think we just didn't know that it was out there until we met you guys. It's like there's a lot of different agency services out there. So for us, like when I met you at, that initial event, it made a ton of sense to essentially start making recommendations to you guys. But as far as like our service specifically, like we just don't run any agency services anymore.
For sure.
That's kind of like what it distills down into. And so for us, like we're not selling agency services, but like we obviously consult with a lot of agencies.
Yeah.
So it's like, we felt that there was a good place for us to make, some pretty warm introductions on that side and allow
Yeah.
you guys to like come in as a trusted partner. So if I still ran an agency, I'd be doing this all day. It'd be a knock out of the park for sure.
Love it. I think my favorite thing is, of course, we've got some amazing companies that have 2, 3, 500 sales reps, and our sales support team can be introduced with them all the way down to, we've had some kids that have worked with us that are in small towns like Hurricane, Utah, and they only want to focus on martial arts companies and they want to be found. So
Yeah.
you've got a 19-year-old kid calling and introducing my sales staff, and we're helping them sell.
Yeah.
That is my favorite thing when you can help the small guys who are trying to cut their teeth and understand how to be found. That is what brings joy, right? And I travel a lot. I literally will be at the airport today going to London.
Let's
Uh,
go. That'll be
and
fun.
it's just the idea of we can help out the small marketing agencies all the way up to the large ones
Yeah.
with a large sales staff.
What are you guys doing in London?
There's a high level event that we're going to be at as
Nice.
Entrepreneur, so we're going to go out there and try and help some agencies out in the UK. But there it should be fun.
Amazing. Amazing. I'll have to see if anyone's going out there. And then I'll have to make a connection for you guys if any of our agencies are going there because we have quite a few in the UK as well.
That'd be
Are,
great.
are you guys you're gonna be in London?
Yes.
Okay,
London.
amazing. It's not, have you been before?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love London. We've got some amazing partnerships there.
Yeah. Man, how long are you there for? Are you there through the week?
I get back on Saturday afternoon. Got to be home
Saturday.
for Father's
Okay.
Day. I'm
Fair.
pretty
Yeah.
sure
Oh yeah. It's Father's Day coming up.
if I missed a Father's Day, it would be no bueno, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I was gonna say if you're gonna be there through Sunday, you got to get the. Have you done the Sunday roast in the UK yet?
I have.
I dream about that.
Dude, the breakfasts are. I mean, I'm still trying to understand beans and toast, right? Like, don't judge me. It's,
Same.
yeah, it's okay, right?
Uh-huh.
But just the tomato is so good mixed with everything else that is there. And you got to eat it properly, right? You got to make sure that you have, your knife and your fork in two different hands,
Of
and
course.
you're doing it the correct way, not
That's
like
right.
us Americans where we cut it and then we switch the fork, and then it's funny to see the different cultural things that are out there.
Awesome, man. Well, dude, I appreciate you jumping on the live with me, man. I dropped the link for the book a time with you. If people are interested in doing a white labeled SEO service, it is a no brainer in my opinion. But yeah, man, where else can people find you? I know you're pretty active on LinkedIn, but outside of that, anywhere else that people can get in touch with you.
You can find me on LinkedIn. You can also find me on Instagram, see where I'm going and what I'm doing and how I'm enjoying the culture of wherever I'm at. But
Yeah.
primarily LinkedIn, I'm here. And then anytime you need me, there's a variety of people you can get in touch with. But absolutely, if you need anybody to help you with your agency and understanding how to navigate and those types of things, I absolutely recommend Josh. You for everything that you've done and the vibe that you've got, and I love the videos that you're doing on TikTok. It's crack up. I was kind of expecting the shades this early, but it's so great. I love
Yeah,
it.
that's a very specific persona I have to tap into. It takes a certain mindset to zone in and be that type of person. So
That's
it's
so great.
yeah, man, it's definitely not someone I'm used to being. So, but people love it. I get a lot of engagement on those videos. So
It's
fun.
really good. I really appreciate it. But no, you can find me on LinkedIn and I'll be able to answer any questions that you've got. Even, if you have questions about how to find the correct white label. I've been doing this for so long. I'd be more than happy to explain it. And ultimately, if you get a good service here and you get a good service here, I'll just at least tell you what you should be looking out to and what for. And, uh, just be truthful. That's what it should be.
Absolutely. I could tell you guys, like having Nic in my circle has been incredible. He's a very, very wise individual. So, it doesn't necessarily always have to be about, the services that, Boostability is rolling out, but he's just got a good business mind. And if you guys haven't connected with him yet, make sure you guys take some time, connect with Nic, because he's doing some really cool things.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you
Of
so
course,
much.
brother. Yeah, man. All right. You guys, thank you so much for tuning into the live stream today. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.